Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's topic, I wanted to say thank you to all my new and old subscribers. You all mean a lot to me. I really appreciate you. If you haven't clicked the little bell to be notified each and every time I make a new video, please do so. Also, don't forget to like and share, as by doing so, it will help push this content to the front of YouTube so others will have a chance to find this information. And if you would like to support even further, you can do so by the way of Patreon. And if you are supporting by the way of Patreon, I humbly say thank you. Now on to the topic at hand. You see, I've been asked the question and/or seen a few comments regarding submission, when in reference from a woman to a man in a biblical sense. And in some of the questions and comments, there seems to be a tone of, I don't think anyone should submit to anyone. Okay. Fair enough. I'm not here to say you don't have a right to your beliefs. But first we must talk about what is meant by submission, and why the world works so hard to teach women to rebel not against bad men, but to rebel against good men. Now we all know there are narcissist men just like there are narcissist women. And if someone, no matter who they are, is asking you to do something wrong, or against your beliefs, you should ask yourself why this person is in your life to begin with. Hence the reason why we talk about narcissism here. So you can learn the signs and get away from people that mean you harm rather than good. Now will they try to act like they are good or they have your best interests at heart? Yes. But soon enough they will reveal who they are. And you will see the things they are asking you to do is against what is good. And will be things that will help sink you deeper and deeper into the grip of the evil narcissist. So first off, what does healthy submission look like? And the most common one the world tells women they should rebel against when a good man tries to direct the woman in his life down a good road. So here's an example I've shared a few times, but I will share again. You have a woman that spends time with her female co-workers at work. They eat lunch together. Now they are gossiping together. And before you know it, even after an 8 to 10 hour day, one of the ladies in the group plan for all of these women to go out to a bar after work for drinking and possibly dancing. Now this woman in this situation is either happily married or in a monogamous dating relationship. And she brings this up to her spouse. And her spouse gets an uneasy feeling about this. And says, I would prefer you not go. Things usually don't go well with booze, co-workers, a bar, and dancing. And who knows? Male co-workers just might show up. Despite what the man in this situation is told. Now is he right for saying that he's not comfortable with this, or is he just a jealous man? Well, I will tell you this. The man in this situation is indeed correct and right with what he is saying. Now you can easily flip this situation with a woman telling a man she's not comfortable with a man going out and doing such things. Because there are men that do act and behave in this manner. But we by and large see in society where women are told an exercise of their power is getting a man she is in a relationship with to stay at home, while she drinks, dances and possibly can find herself in the arms of another man. But the excuse one hears is, James, I just go to dance and not meet men. Well, there are many men that would say, why not meet at the home of one of the women? Have drinks there. Turn up the stereo and dance away. Oh, but wait. There's something missing. And that's men. That are hitting on this group of women all night. Regardless of what they do or don't do about it. It's happening. And most rational men that want to protect. The key word here is protect. The rational men that want to protect their home. No, there will be men all night trying to hit on his wife or girlfriend. And he has to sit in a lower than position hoping his wife or girlfriend in her drunken state will make the correct choices. And I have news for you. This is the most common way relationships have cheating happen. And this is how most relationships end. Relationships, in all honesty. If this peer pressure didn't exist, these would be relationships that could have a good chance at producing good fruit. You see, when we are talking about submission in a biblical sense, we aren't talking about a man ordering a woman around. That's a narcissist or someone similar. But what we are talking about is a man that is able to warn and pull the woman he's with back from danger. Do you remember the story of Adam and Eve? Eve was interested to what Satan had to offer, though we know it was just lies. She thought, well, maybe he has something better than God. Which we know isn't true. But as I mentioned before, it was, I believe, the first form of hypergamy. Here God made Adam and Eve, and gave them everything including eternal life to begin with. Then because Satan came along with a slick lie, she thought she could do better with what she was now being offered from Satan than what she already had with God. Adam went back and forth with Eve on this issue because you can tell Adam knew it was wrong. But Adam gave in. In the book of Timothy it says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Now in this instance, if things went in the order of the Bible, Yahweh, Yahshua, man, woman, and children, it would have been simple for when Adam was trying to tell Eve, this isn't such a good idea, for her to submit and say, you must see some danger in this. I trust you. And cling to her husband and not trusting Satan. Well, think about it for a moment. Most of the things that women are told to rebel against their men are all things that end up bringing down their family, marriages, and homes. Again, we aren't talking about the narcissistic evil man demanding and ruling over his wife with evil demands and requirements. We are talking about a man that sees danger in what is happening in his wife's life, and says, hey, that's not a good idea, much like Eve wanting to take a bite out of the forbidden fruit. And yet the man that is trying to save his wife and his family is called jealous, controlling, mean, so forth and so on. Again, you can indeed flip the script with this happening with a man and woman. But even at work, I've witnessed a woman now and again talking about how her boyfriend wants to go out all the time without her, and how he's still friends with his ex-girlfriends. And the reaction is always the same. No matter if it's a man or woman talking to her, that she deserves better. And how it sounds like the man she is with is just playing her, and how he's probably cheating on her. And assuming she's not just trying to get attention. And all the things she's saying about this man is correct. The assumption these people have that he's cheating is more than likely accurate. I say more than likely because it's not known. But yes, if what is said about this man is true, at the very least he's being rude and unkind to his girlfriend or wife. However, I've heard conversations at work where women talk about how they or their child's new boyfriend needs to get over the fact that they or their daughter is still friends with their ex-boyfriend and they hang out from time to time. Or how they or their daughter, or friend, or other relative has a jealous husband or boyfriend that needs to get over the fact that they like to go out to the bar or the nightclub, or women's only week or weekend trip without their man. And unless you've been living under a rock, we know the last example is very mainstream and common. And because it's mainstream and common, it's almost impossible for a man to protect his wife or girlfriend from evil and build a family. Again, when we are talking about submission, we aren't talking about an evil man yelling out demands and barking out orders. We are talking about when a good man sees danger and tells the woman in his life, this isn't a good idea. We shouldn't do this. And she listens to what he has to say and doesn't rebel. But we also know and have been told that a man finds a good thing in a good woman. Because though the man is the head, the wife might see something the man doesn't see. That's why men and women were meant to be teams on this earth. But she might catch something in her man's blind spot. And she might say, honey, I think this isn't such a good move. He goes over it and goes over it, and then makes a choice. But in this we are talking about schooling for the children, medical care, possibly financial investments, or even friends in your or her life. She might say rightfully, to be careful of such and such a friend you might have, because she doesn't want you to get used. The man takes those wise words under consideration and sets better boundaries. And if the friendship lasts, the boundaries were just an added layer of protection. And he knows his wife has his back. But those added boundaries may make this so-called friend leave and find another target they can get money from. You see, these ways of being were meant so you could have a successful life, so you could raise a good family, and do all the things you were meant to do with your time on this earth. But Satan, just like the narcissist, wants you to spin your wheels and waste your time, trying to fill your life with things and people that don't matter. I've talked about it before. There are videos right here on YouTube of women crying on camera, talking about how they left a good man, maybe the first or second man they ever dated in their life, to pursue a promiscuous lifestyle. Come on, girl. Do you just want to live your life only being with only one man? Or come on, he makes less money than you do. Don't you want a man that is more successful than you are? And these women give in and damage themselves, drinking, partying, and bouncing from one man to the next. Men that care nothing about her. Men that might carry the narcissistic, demonic, Jezebel spirit, transferring that spirit to her through their actions. But they can't get their true love out of their mind, because no matter if they've been married and divorced 3 times over, they know who their real husband was. And it was the man they left because the world told her to do so. Also, she could prove how much of an empowered woman she is. So where does submission come into play? When the man that is a good man tells her what she is being told by the world and others are lies out of the mouth of Satan. And she listens, understands, and proceeds accordingly. Wow! He actually cares about building a relationship with me. He actually cares and loves me. But those that run this earth, they want a one world setup where we are all dominated. And the only way they can do that is to get people to believe a lot of compartmentalized lies. The first of which starts with the family unit and men and women relationships. And now they are going after your children the same way. The teachers in our schools are teaching all kinds of things you might not want your children to know or to be a part of. But little by little they are taking your rights away to have a choice in the matter. And in the process, what are they doing and saying about you as a parent for your disagreements? They are using the type of shaming language that is used against men when men stand up and object to the things their women are being told by our society that they should be so-called doing in order to be a so-called empowered woman. And little by little the family unit is crumbling. And with each wave they are getting their hooks into the children's minds and hearts. And it all started with the lies from Satan's mouth. And a man made powerless to talk sense into the woman he's with to save his family. Ladies, submission doesn't mean mistreatment. If someone is mistreating you, which there are a lot of men out there that fit that description, you are probably dealing with a narcissist. And you need to get yourself free and safe. However, what we are talking about here isn't that at all. What we are talking about is a man that cares about you and his family. And he doesn't want to lose you and his children, because you are now making more money than he is. Which is happening more and more. And is some women's explanation for finding someone else. Which is another video for another day. Or he doesn't want to lose his family, because his wife's girlfriends at work talked her into exploring more and divorcing so she can enjoy a new dating life. Or she has a bunch of male orbiter so-called friends on her Facebook page always wanting to take her to lunch to catch up on old times. You have to understand. Men have been made powerless in this society in regards to their families. Because those that run this earth know. As long as the family is strong, the harder of a time will they have to take everyone over. But if they can destroy the family, it does make things a lot easier. So they turn a good woman against a good man. They take away men's rights in society in general. They work hard to get both the man and woman to walk down a evil and dark path. The path of the narcissist, if they can convince them to do so. And then they take away the parents' rights in regards to their children. And before you know it, it's checkmate. Now they do this with the by and large good man and good woman. Yes. We are all sinners. And no one is truly good. We are all filthy rags. But I say good in the terms of those that are trying their best in life and trying to do the right things and avoid sin. Those that control this earth work night and day on such people because they already have those that are willfully evil. There's nothing to do there except use them to help take down those that are trying to live a good life. But we see it every day. By and large, good people taken down. Good relationships destroyed. And it usually has the same theme. They weren't following the order the Most High has set for us to follow. Rebellion happens. And everyone suffers. Including the woman that thought she was going to be so-called empowered by her rebellion. But soon realizes she was sold a bill of goods. Something to think about. I hope this answered this question to those that asked it. And I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.